So, yeah, we're full screen. So, Marie, hi everybody. This is Marie.
Sander.
Thank you for introductions. So, we're here today to commentate on Love Hurts 2021.
Yep.
Is this the first time that we've had a Love Hurts?
No, this is Love Hurts number 6 for us.
Number 6.
Usually, Love Hurts is a melee event, but due to restrictions and everything, we're doing a dueling event.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, just a little bit of background for me, at least, to introduce ourselves before we get into the thick of it. So, I have never ever seen armored combat in person before. So I'm really excited to be here, and I hope that anybody watching who's never seen it before, maybe we can chat about what we don't know. Here we go.
All right. Bulldog is coming in at 5'2".
Right. Bulldog, give us a cheer.
What's up, Bulldog?
Sweet.
All right, so
Yes,
Jordan.
and we got Brian over there in our fancy steel.
There he is.
Looking very good.
I love it. So this is going to be a sword and buckler fight. Sword and buckler fights differ from sword and shield fights in that sword and shield fights are done for time and for points. So whoever has the most points at the end of the time wins that round. This is going to be a sword and buckler match. Sword and buckler is going to be the first to 5 strikes from the hips and above. So we're looking for a fast-paced fight. We're looking for some solid hits, all edge on.
Here we go.
All right. Let's get going. See some speedy steel work here.
I like the respect there.
There it is.
Ooh.
Solid shots coming in from Chabot. And we got a stop fight. All right, Chabot's got some fast sword work there. Bulldog's going to have to pick up the pace if he's going to want to win this. There it is. First round to Brian.
You'd be interested to see that I was talking to Brian earlier in the before the matches, and he was working on his buckler. You'd think that due to it being smaller, he wouldn't get as many blocks in, but he finds that he can move it around a little bit more, and it's a lot lighter. So we were having these conversations downstairs, and while we were armoring up.
For sure.
Seemed like it worked out for him, huh?
Yeah, it sure did. And nice. He's been I know Chabot has had a number of years in the SCA combat as well. So he's got, on top of fighting on top of fighting steel, he's also got a little bit of stick fighting combat. So he has a bit more experience on Bulldog. And it seems to have paid off this round. So we're going to see how it turns out for round 2, see if Bulldog can pull it back.
Cool.
Yes.
I'm excited. Just over the summer, we did some fights during the Battle
Days. Yeah.
And I met a lot of our fighters there over there. Actually, I met Bulldog there, and I remember we had a lot of fun with the soft kit. So it's nice to see it in the full armored fashion.
Yeah,
so I believe we're looking at about 5 more seconds.
Oh, sounds like go time.
Yep, here we go.
All right, round 2.
Let's see how it goes.
Bulldog can bring it back. Nice. Footwork, nice. Keep him rolling. Nice.
Okay. Interesting. I actually didn't know this myself, but Bulldog is a lefty. I must have forgotten. So I wonder, so Maria, we have a couple lefties in the hall. How does that affect their different things?
I will answer that question in just 2 seconds.
Yep.
Looks like we have.
Okay.
Brian Chabot! Nice job!
Well done.
No takes in 2. Nice.
It's interesting. I mean, I only started training recently, and although I've never fought anybody, you can really see like the difference between where a sword would be coming from and like how you would be blocking. And as you can see with our fighters here, it goes pretty quick with just the points because you're not fighting to the death; you're just fighting for points, you know.
For sure.
So
it'd be a whole different game if you were fighting to the death, dude.
Oh yeah, take a lot longer. I would definitely agree.
Much smaller pools.
I do get the chance to have practice and training with Caitlin fairly often, I would say, and when I show up to the hall, I always see her like deadlifting more and more every day. So
she pushes hard.
Absolutely, and it's great to see. And I mean, something that is actually fairly common is female fighters in the sport. I know that I don't know the percentage, but I know it's actually fairly common for any of our viewers out there. Basically, I see no reason why anybody can't at least join in on the fight. There's a lot of different places you can go. And
there is just because they're scarce doesn't mean they're not real. I mean, I'm here.
yeah, true.
Caitlin's here. Erica's here.
True.
And there's a lot of really solid female teams as well. They're the I almost said the Valkyries.
Yeah. I don't know.
There's Furious New York. There's
Furious,
Matago, Red and Black out in Seattle.
And you see people coming out here, you know, a few times a week, even more than that, 5 times a week, really putting in those G's, you know, and putting in that work for themselves or for a team they want to be on, or so on and so forth. And I think it's really great to see, especially, you know, for someone who I've never seen the local or the national pockets, but I've watched a couple of short videos, like seeing the local teams really coming out, and the local fighters coming out to get this space here together and to get everybody practicing, even though, you know, COVID's been a big torrent from all that. And then to watch some of the brawls and the groups of people that play. Yep, so we got our next fight. And again, that's Erica and Caitlin. So
we got Caitlin over here.
In the purple tabard,
yeah,
purple and black.
Tabard.
Perfect. We're stopping over that camera now so you can check this out.
Right.
I'm excited to see the longsword because realistically, I mean, you will be blocking, but there's no shield to block you here.
Oh, it's Caitlin coming out! Oh, she's coming furious. I love it. She's been putting a lot of work into that longsword. You can tell, man. She's coming out. Oh, love it.
Oh my God.
Yes, yes. Got Erica with a strong hit there. There it is. Solid block from Kate. Yes, yes, yes. Nice job. See Caitlin quick on her feet. Erica with a little bit of charge there, eating some shots for it. And Erica has lost the gauntlet. All right. Throwing that gauntlet back on there. All right. Stop fight. All right. Looks like we have to fail Erica to get that fixed.
Sorry, Green. I don't know anything, so okay. We're in our next match here.
All right, we're gonna keep going. We got that armor fixed up.
Head to head.
Caitlin coming out furious like always. She's
what
swinging like me.
There we go.
That is time. All right. 2 breaks for armor. 1 break for time. Fighters posted up, taking a breath, taking a breather, taking a break. All right. Let's see who took that round. My money's going to be on Kate. What do you think?
Honestly, they were both out there. They were really doing a great job fighting each other. I went to Kate.
Round 1 did go to Caitlin. All right.
I didn't even have a chance to respond, and we already knew. But I couldn't have told you because I saw a lot of really good blow for blow. 30 seconds until our next match. Hopefully we can get that camera up there pretty soon. Just flip it around. All right, go ahead.
All right, cool.
So we're just going to flip around the picture that we have. We have to go back and forth, but I think we all down a little bit. Okay, so we're just don't worry, that's a scoop. We of course don't want to be on camera as much as you want.
It would not be a nice outside. Technical difficulties. Round 2. Let's go.
Here we go.
I'm here for it. Nice. Coming out strong. Got that forward. Erica's trying to throw here. One thing to remember in this long sword fight is that all strikes count for points.
Almost strikes.
All strikes count for points. So if Erica gets in there the way that she's been getting in there and coming in with the combo of her sword, he's going to still rack up points. But Erica can do the same thing.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
There it is. So, let me go for it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Bruce goes down. We got one to
Yeah, of course.
Run. You're just got to pick up that speed if you want some solid tips with that, some solid flow right there.
So we had the Taylor here is in the purple and Erica in the blue and come up with small symbols, you know?
Lord, the lead my heart wants to
Yeah,
say.
I don't know. It's okay if we don't, but just for clarity, yeah. So for clarity, that was kind of what we were looking at here. So Caitlin did win the first round, and that was our, like I said, our purple and black tablet over here, and we don't know yet who won the second round.
No, they haven't announced it
They have
yet.
not announced it yet. So for the people in chat are asking, because yes, it was supposed to win that first round.
Yes, to answer as Moraes' question, purple is doing very good. Purple is going to be Caitlin.
Yep. 10 seconds.
Paul. What was the result? All right. Looks like Caitlin took the second one as well, and we're going to round 3. Best of 3. No, if Erica can take this round, she's going to even us up. So we're going to go for the 4th round.
Yeah, we'll push her back. That's great moves right there.
Oh, yeah, Caitlin with the move.
I'm going to say, that's a combo that I've been practicing and seeing it in real life. It's so much different. Great. Oh my gosh, look at these.
Erica's coming out with it, dude.
I like it.
Yes. Powerful shots from that longsword. But things to remember about longsword fighters, you're not going for power, it's more finesse. So you want to be quick. You want to throw those shots fast, not necessarily strong. Got to keep that movement up.
There we go.
Doing good, doing good. Racking up points, racking up points.
So what just happened there that that ever happened?
So it's a bit of a perspective. It's also an opportunity for you to step away from the match when you can reset yourself. It's not a thing that you can do. If you realize for whatever reason you can take a step back, reassess, and figure out how to reassess.
Good to hear.
How we doing? We might have a result, we might not.
I know you can't see it as a slider. Yeah, results coming up.
Caitlin takes the win! Nice job, Caitlin!
Caitlin takes it in best out of 5. Well done, well done.
She's been working hard for that. She's been practicing her longsword. It's the tool that she really wants to be good at, and her hard work is definitely showing off.
Absolutely. And so one thing that as a new player watching, it's hard to understand exactly how heavy a kit armor would be. When you put it on, I was talking to somebody else recently, and they were like, because of the way it hurts, it doesn't feel as heavy. But how heavy actually is a set of armor like this?
So it really depends on the heavier or I'm going to be uncomfortable and make my life this whole fight with. You're going to think about 80 pounds.
About 80 pounds.
Yeah, 60 to 80 seems to be the heavier average. But kids can also get phenomenally lighter than that, especially when you consider like titanium kits or titanium bits and stuff like that. That's really going to take away a lot of the weight. I think we got some questions here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get you, Shug.
Yeah.
But yes, so there was a question in the chat earlier from Ms. Moraes. He says, I've never seen anything like this, but it looks like Purple is doing good. So Purple was Caitlin, but Caitlin was doing very well. Different fights, different teams have different ways to judge them. For longsword in particular, you really want to be fast. You are really focusing on not hurting your opponent so much as just making contact with them. That way you can rack up your points. It's a point-based thing, not like a damage-based thing. Sword strikes count, hollow strikes count. You're allowed to pick. I believe you're allowed to throw, but it doesn't count for anything. I'm not a longsword fighter, so I don't have the rules down that. I'm not sure if I don't. But yeah, man. It's one of the more popular formats, along with Sword and Shield, and I believe after that would be Sword and Buckler and Warlord. That's also
Nice.
That was well thought by both of them.
Absolutely.
I'm very excited to see both Caitlin's progression and just to see Erica coming back. Erica had to take a break for a while because of injury, but she is coming back and fighting, and so I'm very happy to see her back in the game and back doing this thing that she loves.
Yeah, it was really great to see two seasoned fighters like that on the stage.
All right, we got another long sword duel coming up between Liam Fitzpatrick Rice and William Galloway. William has been fighting for about a year and a half. Before this, he was in boxing for about 2 years. Will is, this is about a year, 6 months to a year for him. Will is primarily focusing on being a longsword duelist, so he dedicates all of his time and energy and training into longsword dueling. So I'm really excited to see what's coming from him. He decided that he wanted to fight steel. Will had fought Muay Thai for about 5 years. So it's going to be really cool to see how he fights this fight.
Great, you gotta do a somersault on the way up.
Flip it around for the break. So I did get a chance to talk to Will before the fight, and one of the things he does to train is he actually puts to work the muscles instead of like weights and everything. So it's actually pretty interesting to hear how that is set up. So now we have our fighters getting on the mat here. Do you mind putting up your separate?
Yeah, no problem. So we got Will all the way over here in the red. Will's coming in at 5'7", 155. And I don't think you can see him right now. But we got Liam over here in the black and red. There he is. Liam's coming in at 5'9", 185.
That beard, you know what I'm saying? Always good. Gotta love the beards out here, right?
I'm very excited to see how this fight turns out. Both of these guys, they fire fast. They're quick on their feet. They've been putting a lot of energy into their training. Liam comes to Friday Night Stars up at the hall fairly often. Yeah, dude, and William's been putting all his focus into his longsword fighting. He's not really into fighting melee, which is fine. Like, it's totally legit if you just want to be a duelist. There's nothing wrong with it. And that's what he's decided to do.
Yeah, and kind of bouncing off that, one of the great things about this sport is that you can really make of it what you want.
Exactly.
You don't even have to participate in the actual fights and rules. You can come to the training, come to the culture. As you can see on stage here, we have a lot of people in helping hands, a lot of squires that they get a lot of practice working with the armor and really something time that way. But so really you can come and make it whatever you want. I think it's great to see that we have someone like you who's going for a very specific focus.
Yeah, man. And that's like you're saying, that's the thing that I really appreciate about the sport is that no matter what you want your level of involvement to be, there is a place for you. If you just want to come and you just want to support, that's totally fine to come and support. If you want to come and you want to fight, no matter how you want to fight, you can do that. If you just want to come and watch the show, there's a space for you.
All right.
We did have a question on the screen. The one I saw right now.
Just below the screen. Donate.
Yeah, so there should be a donate button. Our handyman was able to say it. And we have another question from Warlord Brett. So it is all duels tonight.
Yep, tonight is going to be all duels with one exception. Comes later on in the night. After this fight, we're going to have about a 10 to 15 minute break, and we're going to have a modified triathlon that we will tell you about as soon as this fight is over. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that triathlon.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to be very cool.
Okay, and then again, just before we begin, we have Liam and the poster gentleman here, and Mike Tavern, and Will in the red tavern.
We'll give it a bow of respect. We'll sort that. Very, very cool thing to do.
Oh, we got a good thing there. Ooh, okay.
Push them back. He pushed them back.
Push them around, push them around.
Really showing up. Wait a minute, right in the corner.
I see Liam getting in a couple bobble strikes there. That's how that's what we did.
Push them away, push them away. That's what we did. What's that positioning?
That was a solid exchange.
Steel on steel here.
You can tell that both of these guys have practiced this. Nice exchange.
10 seconds left on this round here.
Oh man, I don't know who's winning this one.
This is it.
Solid block from Liam. Time. Nice fight, guys. Nice fight.
As you see a little bit of respect there too.
Julie Jacob, to answer your question, there is a donate button that you can press and donate for tonight's fight.
Yeah, should be down below. You can scroll down, we believe.
Yes. Great. Oh man, that was spicy.
Yeah, that was a really good match.
That was good, right here.
It was interesting to see, you know, a lot of the weight being pushed around, trying to like push someone back, push her back in the corner.
Oh yeah, man.
And then even just having to take that step back after what seemed to have been gaining a large advantage.
First round is a tie.
Wow, first round is a tie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Round two, round two, round two.
Way more rounds than we expected.
Yeah, so we unfortunately don't have the microphone set up that we were hoping to have, so we're trying our best to make sure that audio is coming through.
Yeah, we are speaking as loudly as we can, try and make sure that you guys can.
During the break, we'll try to swap over to a different, more dedicated mic for three. So let's focus on the second round. Oh my God, did you see that? Great.
That combo, that was solid. Fire, fire, and fire. I love it, love it.
Feels like giving them any for each.
Not even a little bit. Solid low shot from Liam, but we'll just rack up those points, man. He got him tied up and just fired straight to his noggin. Wrapped up. Oh, snap, son.
Yeah.
See them reset, pressing each other. Figuring out where they want to fire. Liam catching himself a few points on that.
10
You
seconds.
got 10 seconds.
Mark by.
Flying, baby. Now's the time to push it, guys. Hope I didn't say that too loud. Doesn't matter. All right.
Well done, well
Counter's
done.
coming to the center.
All right.
You're good.
We got a close-up conversation between the judges, referees.
I'm going to say that this round went to Will, if only because there was definitely a couple moments there where Liam got tied up with him when Will just had two shots on his head. But Liam definitely also caught up.
Round two goes to Will.
Round two went to Will.
All right.
Like we already predicted. We got real Josh Connors that way making some dad jokes. Josh, if you'd like, you could probably come see if you can take Curtis to the precinct yourself. I'm sure he'd fight you back. Alright, no, that's Curtis. We got a haircut, so yeah.
All right, round two. Round three.
There we go.
All right, let's go. Yes. Speed on Will, though. Speed used to take moving around a little bit more. Solid, my guy. Yes, nice low shot.
At the end, it's trying to push him around. Instead of going for strikes, he's trying to push him into that corner there again.
What Liam seems to be doing is he's shutting down those short strikes and getting his own in where he can. It's smart to do. Punch him in the gut. Let's see how that goes. Love it. That's a smart move by Liam, shutting shutting down Will Ford and take the shot where he could. He was just firing. He was just spamming
We got
shots.
10 seconds to see how it goes. Oh, we missed. Take advantage of that time.
Yes, yes, yes. Balance. Nice, strong fellas. Well fought by both of them.
It's interesting to see the difference between a fight that has a dedicated amount of time and a fight that for points. You can see like how people sort of get tired in different ways and different types of shots they go for.
For sure, dude. It's loose.
It looks like we have a winner.
Got a call.
Remember that first round. That was a great fight.
Well fought by both of them. I apologize to everybody who's watching the stream right now who's gonna have to deal with me like excited screaming. So you might want to keep the remote in hand and just like adjust as needed.
Gotcha.
All right. So we got
We got Jay
Hey.
coming back up. Jay coming on stream.
hello.
Too. So,
Say hi.
So Jay, we're using the headset here right now. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear Jay?
I don't know if you can hear
Yeah,
me
say
or
a few
not.
things. So glad. Thank you, Shug. All right, Dad, say a few things. Let's see if people on the stream can hear
Can you all hear me over there? I hope everyone's having a good time watching some fights tonight. I hope you like the way we've set up our arena. I think it looks pretty good,
It looks great.
and
It's pretty killer, dude.
we're pretty happy with how the room looks. So
Yeah, man.
Jay, do you have any experienced eye on kind of what we were seeing tonight? A couple of the key moments, a couple of things that looked really, really great on.
yeah, so one of the things I noticed is that Will and Caitlin both are doing some really good lateral movement on their longsword
No
fights.
doubt, no doubt.
And they're using some nice riposts and blocks and firing off of those blocks. So I was pretty excited to see their longsword progress. We've been working on it over the past few months,
No doubt.
and it was really there. Watching Josh Feliz come out here and fight veteran Brian Chabot. Yeah, Brian is technically a better fighter, but Bulldog's a new guy, and this is like his first really official fight.
Yeah,
So-
Bulldog was saying this was his first actual duels event. So to see him come out and to fire as fast as he could and to fight as hard as he could for this being his first duels event was definitely a cool thing to see.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. He's got a lot of potential. I can't wait to see him do more.
Oh,
This
no doubt.
event was set up to be an event that people knock the rust off. They got a chance to do a fight and do it in a cool environment and maybe get some cool photo ops.
Yeah, man, and this is the first fight that we've had at the Knights Hall since let me check my notes here. Since August. The last fight that we had in August was another dueling event. Because of COVID, we obviously didn't want to pack a
Yeah,
bunch
we
of
had the
fighters into a
barrier event.
melee. Yeah, we had the barrier event, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. It was a lot of fun. But I think this is more what we like to do.
Yeah, for sure.
And with things going down and people getting their vaccines, and we're still super COVID compliant. Everyone's using their masks and everything.
No doubt.
Everyone's been great. We're cycling people through the building, so no one's even in the same room.
Yeah,
So,
we have all of our fighters that are fighting tonight. If you've ever been to the Knights Hall, or if you haven't, the entrance to the facility that the Knights Hall is a large loading bay. So we have all of our fighters down there, spaced out away from one another, so everybody can safely armor up. COVID compliant, 6 feet away from one another. Everybody's got a dedicated squire to work with them. So we're doing the best that we can to make sure that everything is as safe and as fun as we can make it in these trying
And
times.
can't wait until we don't have to do this.
This is what I'm
stuff.
saying, man.
But we're gonna live our lives, and we're doing it.
That's what we're doing, dude. I cannot wait until we can have another melee at the hall. I want that in my bones so
Yeah,
bad.
we're looking to do that. I don't think it's going to happen this summer
For sure.
inside.
For sure.
But probably next winter, I see us doing indoor fighting events in here, with melees again.
You have no idea how bad I want that.
Yeah, me too.
I know you obviously want it more than I do, but
Everybody here wants to do it, and we can't wait. We miss everybody. Sorry we couldn't visit you guys down at Carnage, but we as a group decided we weren't doing it,
Yeah.
and we're doing this instead, a little safer, and really taking our time. And then we're going to come back this summer. We've got 15, 16 events planned already, and more coming down the pipe. So stay tuned. You're going to have a lot of fighting going on this summer.
I
hope
want
people
it
visit and
so
watch our streams.
bad.
So thank you, everybody. We're going to get this show going. And
Right on.
if you have any questions, feel free to message me afterwards.
Right on. Well,
Thank
thank you very much
You
for
guys are
talking to
doing
us. Thank you.
Have a great night.
All right. Oh man.
So, I know some of you were saying that he was late. He's been here the whole time. Yeah, we'll be fine.
Thank you.
Sorry, we just had a quick question from our man on the other side of the camera. Yeah, someone was saying that he was late, which was not true. He's been here the whole time, suited and ready to go. You might have seen him in the preliminary if we had the camera running, but at that time we didn't. And we were trying to figure some things out. So currently we're on about a 10 to 15 minute break between our 6 rounds. We had our six matches. Sorry, we had 3 already. And now we'll be moving into our modified triathlon.
Yes, I'm very
match,
excited for
which,
this.
So as I've been told, there's multiple different fights regarding multiple different weapons between these two individuals, depending on wins and losses. And
Yes.
really, I just hope that we have an even couple of wins, even couple of losses, so we can see all 5 different weapon duels. But
So-
if one starts to overpower the other, winning a couple matches in a row, we won't actually get to see all the fights. So I'm going to
Exactly.
be rooting for whoever is losing, which is way more fun, I think. Anyway,
I will say I'm not usually one that encourages cheating or favoritism, but if somebody gets sabotaged, I'm not going to be mad because I really want to see what round 5 of this fight is going to be. I don't mean any of that even a little bit, except for the excited like round 5 part. After our 10 to 15 minute break, we are going to be having Chuck Goodwin versus Jack Young. So usually triathlon will consist of longsword, sword and board, and sword and buckler. Our modified version of that, round 1 is going to be a longsword fight. Round 2 will be sword and shield. Round 3 and 4, my understanding is that for each set, they're going to alternate between longsword and sword and shield, longsword and sword and shield. And if by that time we haven't determined a winner, round 5 is going to be Florentine, arming sword versus a falchion.
yeah, and I really want to see that because it is the only falchion, I believe, throughout the whole night, and I'm kind of curious to see what it would look like. So
Yeah, dude.
So who won?
So,
we have a
yes.
question from Mr. Trash Night
So
Ringo.
from Trash Night Ringo, yes, Will won that last fight. So our winners of the night so far have been Brian Chabot versus Bulldog in Sword and Buckler. Brian Chabot took it in 2. In Longsword, Erica versus Caitlin. Caitlin took it. The first match was they just went straight through. And for our third fight, Liam versus Will, the first match was a draw, but William Alloway eventually wound up taking it.
Yeah, and like I said, from someone who's really honestly never seen this before in person, it's really great to see these fighters out here going blow for blow, point for point. And although we can see, a lot of these fights seem to have like a lopsided one person won every single round, it doesn't look like that when you're out on the stage here.
No,
both
not
the
even
fighters on both sides were very dedicated to the craft and put a lot of work into their swordsmanship, their defense, their offense, and from the untrained eye, I could not have told you who was winning at any point because it really did look like they were everyone was in it for that brawl to win,
For sure, dude.
So,
And I mean, on top of this, on top of the work that people have been putting in as much as they can through the COVID times, it's also been, we've also had to take a lot of time off from fighting. So like, you can see, sorry, I was checking the question.
No, you're good. You keep going. I'll answer the questions in the chat.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm just using DeafMag to answer because I'm going to answer via text because we're trying to figure out the donation scenario. I'm not sure because I believe we do have the stream donations available.
Okay.
I know I've seen one, a tip that we had, but we're having some trouble finding people ways to get the donations in. So we will have that set. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but we will, for people out there who are looking to donate, we will find you a way to donate. If that means we have to give a link to maybe the website, but we'll figure that out as soon as we can. It's on our mind, okay? But
Alrighty, so but yeah, no, this is the first fight that we've had at the hall since August. The last fight that we had here was very similar to this one, except we had some rails in between us that we would open and close as per fight. But this is more like what we're used to, man. And it's so good it's so good to actually have another fight at the hall because it's been so long.
absolutely. So we did have a small idea for like some things to chat about between. But if anybody has any questions for me, the completely unexperienced fighter who's literally never done anything involving steel and only soft kit trained here, or one of my instructors, Marie, who has been fighting for a pretty long while.
Hello.
So if you have any questions, like let us know. We can also bring Jay back at some point to answer some questions. But I'm gonna ask Marie some questions now while we're waiting for our fourth round, the triathlon.
Woo!
So one of my questions for you was, how long have you been fighting, and what brought you to the sport in the first place?
So I've been fighting for about 4 years. And I kind of found steel fighting on accident. I literally found out about the Knights Hall through an AJ Plus video that I just stumbled across on Facebook one day, like legit, no joke. I worked at the gas station, literally walking distance from the hall, and I'm just like, oh, that's cool. I'll go check that out one day. And then I checked it out a year later. And I just like, I don't know, dude, like I came here and I started training and I fell in love with the people that I met, and like it pushed me in a way that I'd never been pushed before, in a way that I really needed. And I fell in love with it, dude, and I just never wanted to let it go.
Yeah, and honestly, it's so great to see how excited everybody is, and yourself included.
Yeah,
Watching you and Jay just talk about seeing everybody fighting again, and I can't see faces, but you can see eyes light up.
Yeah, man.
Everybody's so excited to be here. And we have a question we won't be answering, because there are no favorites.
I love you all equally, except my love.
Perfect. We just have one question coming from the other side. They can probably hear you too, just so you know. So. Okay. So,
okay. Sure.
So yeah, we'll take 5 in a couple minutes. So, so one more question I have for you before the break,
right on.
Other than your favorite teammates. No, but really, who's your favorite gun? What is your favorite weapon to fight with? And if you were out there on a duel today, what do you think you would be using?
Oh man. Okay.
Your preferred scenario.
If in a perfect world, I would be out there fighting polearm.
Polearm. Yeah.
I love my polearm. My if I weren't fighting polearm, I would definitely be fighting sword and buckler. I love the finesse and the very specific type of power that can come from a polearm, from like a well placed shot. It's just satisfying. But I really like the high speeds, like points based of the sword and buckler. So it would definitely be one of the two for sure.
That's great. That's great to hear. So I think with that, because we are getting ready for our next match, we're going to take a short 5 to 10 minute technical break.
Yes.
I hope that you'll stick around because we have some phenomenal matches coming up.
Yes.
The next match, as we said, is the triathlon between Chuck and Jack. So we are gonna cut for now, and I'm gonna mute our audio so that we can figure out what we need to do. Okay.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Please stick around. We have a very exciting fight coming up, and we will be back in just a minute. All right, and like we said, this next fight is going to be spicy. It is going to be Chuck Goodwin versus Jack Young. Can I have that notebook, please?
That modified triathlon.
Yes.
Here you go. You might want to flip it back.
Yeah, we're going to have that triathlon. Let me see here. Where did I leave off?
Yep, so we're just getting some final pieces in here. Jay is calling the two fighters to the stage.
All right, coming in first in the red and white, we have Chuck Goodwin. He is 6'1", 260 pounds. He's been fighting for the past 2 years. He's a member of the New England Executioners. I'm cute.
There we go. Looks like we have some video here.
All right.
It is perfect.
Fantastic.
Okay, and now, so just to not to interrupt, but we do have a dedicated cameraman holding the camera now. We tried to swatch it up a little bit, so they will be attempting to walk around and get a slightly more dynamic shot
Indeed.
instead of right behind. So,
All right.
And we see Curtis up here doing some awesome stuff. Look at that, directing, being that referee.
He's doing a good job. We have Curtis Hennessy as head ref tonight. He's been fighting for a while too. He's been dedicated. He's been putting in a lot of work. So it's really cool to see him just wearing new hats, man. Like, he knows what he's doing. He's on top of his shit. Like, he's a good dude, and I'm glad that he's got this job right now. So back in the list, we have Chuck Goodwin in the red and the white, coming in at 6'1", 260 pounds, been fighting for the past 2 years, versus Jack Young, 6 foot 200, fighting for the past year and a half. This is going to be our modified triathlon. How many chucks could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? So we literally have 2 different chucks here. We call them the Chuck Army, but that's not important right now. It's on to triathlon.
So who is who on the floor here?
So we have red and white is Chuck Goodwin. In the straight red with the red pauldrons is Jack Young. Now this is going to be.
He's got a yellow sun in the front too.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Oh, now this is a fierce round 1. They're just going shot for shot, shot for shot.
Seems to be really hard to push Chuck back. I can see that Jack is really trying, but Chuck is not wavering and almost like moving him where he wants him.
Yeah, Jack's gonna have to come in a little more in that lateral movement if he's gonna want to outmaneuver Chuck.
Looks like we got some metal down on the ground. I'm not sure what it is.
No one's called for an armor. No one's called for armor yet, so we'll disregard that metal until then.
I think that was the tip of his foot, no?
That's
No.
woo! Swing and a miss from Jack Young.
Swing.
Got
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Chuck's doing a
Chuck
great
getting
job
in.
of not letting him get by him.
Oh, Chuck
Oh
just
my God! Yeah,
hammering
he's
him,
going
hammering
hardcore.
him.
We got the crowd. We went
Oh,
for the throw.
snap, son.
That
We almost
timer
had a
should be going
toss.
right now.
All right.
Well done out there.
Nice job, guys.
Got our squires going in, picking up metal, figuring everything out.
I don't know who took that round, dude. They were both going pretty heavy, man.
That was a match. That was a match.
Oh, snap. Hilt on the sword busted off.
That's what I thought. I thought that was part of our sword there.
Yeah. Part of his teeth broke off.
Which who? Yeah, which one? Oh, okay. So part of Chuck's sword broke.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. But that
That's
doesn't.
surprising to see. I mean, it was only like 20 seconds into the fight at most, and you can see just from those quick brawls, that armor being used as long as it has. It seems that we had some parts break off.
Oh
Wow.
no. All right. Looks like
Chuck's
Chuck Goodman
round
takes
1.
the first round. All
Well
right.
done.
And now we are moving on to the sword and shield part of our
So
triathlon.
I've now begun my rooting for Jack so that we can get all 5 rounds in here. Come on, Jack, you got this. Let's go.
I'm excited to see how this turns out. Chuck is a big dude. Chuck's a strong dude, but so is Jack. So those hits are going to be coming in heavy.
You can see right here on the shield. Both their shields right in view. Look at those blocks. Those shields are up high. They got some really good swings in, really good blocks in it.
Trading some solid shots here.
You can see, like, right as the shot goes in, that the shield comes up for the block just to make sure that they're not leaving themselves open. Like that, try not to get himself up to the wall here.
Yeah, it looks like Jack's starting to tire out a little bit here. You can see his shoulders shrug a little bit. He's going to have to keep moving if he wants this, dude.
I really want to see it.
He's got this. He's good. He's gold. He's Gucci. He can just keep going. He can keep going. Come on.
So it's also something I talked about earlier. It's really interesting to see the difference between that left hand and right hand fighter. They have their weapons and swords and shields on the same side. And really just seeing like how that affects the fighters.
It definitely does change the dynamics of the fight because, like, especially when you have a righty versus lefty, righty who hasn't fought lefty a whole bunch, it's so much more of a mental game.
Absolutely.
All right. We've called it for round 2. We're going to see.
Again, I'm still hoping for Jack because I really want to see those 5 rounds go through the triathlon.
I want that
But we're
Florentine.
not sure. We have Chuck in that second round there. And what is the third round coming up for weapons?
All right, so our third round coming up for weapons, we're going to alternate between longsword and sword and shield. So my understanding of the way that this is going to work is the first round, they're going to fight sword and shield. And then the second round, they're going to fight longsword.
Okay.
If I have that right. Yes, front kicks are illegal in Sword and Shield.
I wouldn't have known that.
I feel like there's a lot of room for forgiveness since it's been a minute since we've had an opportunity to fight, and not all of our fighters are duelists. Not everybody has all of the rules down in their heads. Oh, it looks like we're switching it up. We have Chuck with the Sword and Shield.
Huh?
Yeah.
This is really cool to
man.
see different weapons versus each other. I don't think I even knew this kind of thing existed in duels. I mean, it makes sense, but it's pretty interesting to see.
That's the thing, is I don't think they do. I think this is a homebrew.
Homebrew, yeah?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm about it. I'm not mad
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
great.
I'd like to see it in a competition. Oh man, this is just a completely
Ooh,
different
lost
fight.
arm.
Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Jack seems to have lost a piece of his Aventail, but it's not a critical loss, so we're just going to keep going here.
Pretty interesting to see those strikes coming from that longsword, but also trying to prepare for a block, because Chuck really has more opportunity if he gets that good block in on that longsword to really go for another strike, as you saw there right on the helmet.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so
There
it
it
seems
is,
really
there it
difficult.
is.
Honestly, for the longsword fighter, this seems like a much more difficult fight for them for a seasoned sword and shield fighter.
Oh, no doubt.
But it is really great to see the tactics that one uses on both sides of that battle there, of that duel. Yeah, they use Thunderbolt 13. We do too. It's really cool to see. Let's see who our winner is.
All right.
And we
All
have
right.
round 3 going
Round
to Chuck.
3. Chuck Goodwin.
I'm just here hoping that we're going to get to see all 5 rounds regardless of victories, but who knows?
My guy, I want this like I've never wanted anything in the world. It is too early in the night, and I am too sober to be answering these existential questions.
Wait, are you saying that commentators are allowed to drink during these matches? 'Cause, I was not told of this.
I am not.
We are not. Oh, darn. Okay.
I'm not. I'm not telling you
I'd
no.
I'd like to quit my job as a commentator. I'll just be the annoying person on your left, and I will instead be drinking. Oh, we get to see a 4th round.
Listen, I'm never going to tell you what to do with your life,
Great
but I'm
to
going to
see.
tell you it might not be a good idea. All right,
So
now
they're
we got
swapping it up here.
Chuck with the long sword, Jack with sword and shield, Jack coming out fast and furious like he has been.
We had a really good thing from Chuck there coming in after seeing what we were getting from Jack there. Like it.
I like-
Trying to put him around to the side.
I'm liking this lateral movement that I'm seeing from Jack. I know in the past he's been very
Ooh,
woo.
a lot of big pushes there.
Forget
Get
that.
the ground,
Oh,
throwing
and
him
down
down.
he goes.
Giving him that opportunity to stand up. It's really nice to see the mutual respect in a game like this, a duel like this.
Oh, no doubt, man. Like there are definitely fights, one-on-one fights like this, pro fights, where when somebody goes down, I believe you have 10 seconds to hit them. But that's not the game that we're playing. So there is a lot of respect between fighters and just like giving them the opportunity to get up, reset, do what they need to do to get ready to continue the fight.
Let's go. You got this.
Come on. We only got 10 seconds. Now's the time to push. I lied. Time's up. We're going to see who took it.
Great work out there on both sides. Like I said before, and I've said all night, it's you can really see the heart and soul that's going into both these fighters. I mean, regardless of one looking more tired than the other, you can see they're really putting in their all. And I mean, as I was saying, from a new fighter, we had round
Chuck
4
takes
go to
it
Chuck
again.
as well.
Man, he is sweeping it.
Great
All
job
right.
there. But like as I was saying, this armor weighs a lot, and I mean you can look at it and say, well, of course they're wearing full armor, of course it weighs a lot. But when you're out there training, you don't get as many opportunities to put on that full suit armor as you might think. And here we have fighters who they're going to get tired a lot faster than you'd expect.
No doubt. And there is definitely something to be said for the fighter that puts their kit on more often than somebody who maybe doesn't get the opportunity to or just chooses not to, whatever the case may be. Every single time you get an opportunity to fight, you are learning more, you're getting more practice in than another person who maybe couldn't make an event or couldn't make a practice or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. We got that last round coming in. This is Florentine. It's the Falchion versus the Sword.
I am here for the Florentine.
So I can't see from where we're looking, but wow.
Woohoo! Yeah, buddy!
There you go.
From
Just
Jack
swing
into
those
those
swords,
fists.
swing those swords.
Knock him, sock him, swinging. I love it. Chuck using his
Right
size
into the
on
wall
Jack.
there.
And
Push your back,
Chuck's got gas for days
Push
on
up.
Jack.
There you go, there you go.
Yes. Keep swinging, boys. Keep swinging. This
Keep
is
swinging,
solid
go.
fight. I
There you
love
go.
this. This is so good.
Marie over here jumping in there. See,
Oh
John,
man, I
got it
can't.
going. Oh,
This is what I'm
double
talking
strike
about,
swing.
baby. Yes.
Same time.
Chuck
Push
is
the back.
stalking
Push the
Jack.
back.
Jack's
Go
got to get out of that corner if he
Go,
wants a
go,
chance
go,
to
go,
throw
go.
some shots.
Go. Come on, Jack, go.
Woo!
Get him.
Solid shot
Get
from
him.
Chuck, both hammering down.
10 seconds.
10 seconds. We got 10 seconds to
Get
push.
him.
Jack's just got to
Push
keep
him around.
swinging.
Come on.
Chuck's got gas.
What a
Jack's got to
great
keep
fight we
pushing.
have
He's
going
got
on
it.
here. What a great
Oh,
fight.
that is it. That
Those
is
are two
it.
very powerful fighters right
Well
there.
fought, both
Look
of
at
them.
that.
They both did an
Look at
amazing
that.
job.
Listen, just
That
to
was
be
a
out there and
solid
watch,
fight.
both of those gentlemen take a beating from each other, and even Jack holding his own the whole time. Great
Chuck
job
Goodwin
out
takes
there,
it.
Jack. Great job
That
out
was
there,
a
Chuck.
solid performance
so
from
good.
both of these guys. That was
is so good.
incredible.
I mean, you saw, Chuck coming out there with the double overhand swing, straight onto both those shoulder pads. I mean, that was a strike to remember.
That's what I'm fucking
He-
talking about,
he-
dude.
He got cornered and just boom. And for Jack to stand up that entire time,
Yeah,
he
dude.
didn't fall down, he didn't give up, he kept fighting. That's just so great to see.
That
I mean,
was.
what do you
that
think it
was
would have felt like to
well
get hit like that?
I don't want to. Like, I'm good, dude. Oh man, that was so cool.
Wow.
That made my night. I got to take my jacket off. I
Oh
am
my God.
sweaty. I am
Oh,
excited.
please.
Fucking.
You guys, we don't got camera on this side. I'm telling you, we're feeling warm up here. I'm agreeing. I agree. It is warm.
Oh man.
But you know what? We got water. Are you all hydrating out there?
Oh.
Bridget wants you all to know it's time to hydrate.
Gotta look
I'm
away
feeling
while we're
it.
doing
I'll
this.
hydrate to the left, to the right.
Good job, team. Air high five.
Perfect.
Bam.
Wow. Bam.
Love
no
it.
contact high fives. That's how you do it. Oh, hey,
That
we're back.
rolled.
We're
That
back
was
on.
sick. Hey,
so,
what's up? That
again,
was
that was great.
nasty. That was fucking killer, dude. I don't know if I should be swearing like that. I don't care. I had a
Who
great
cares?
time.
It's 18 plus. I don't think we let anybody in without armor on, but or anybody under 18
Oh,
with
man.
armor on. I mean, just
That was absolutely brutal. That was
yeah,
that was
that-
well fought by both of them. You can tell that Jack wanted it, dude.
absolutely.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean that was just that was a really great fight. And how often do we get to see a two one-handed swords fighting against each other? Is that a common occurrence?
That is exceedingly rare.
Wow.
So it was really cool for that to happen tonight. I know that for like practice fights or just for fun, like we have a couple of fighters that'll come in with like an axe and a mace or something wild like that. But I've never seen a Florentine fight fought with that kind of intensity before. That was nasty.
That was nasty. And I think like one of the big reasons why you see fights like that here at the Knights Hall is just because of the shared acceptance and like respect that we see like between our fighters. Like everybody's really out here for their own personal gains, and again, like sometimes those like gains as a team, and it's really cool to see that like mutual respect. Like even when Chuck was winning and he did go for some of those more brutal strikes,
No
you
doubt.
saw that he was giving Jack like the opportunity to like fight back, and,
Oh, yeah.
and like they had this really great melee for us to watch and for them to participate in. And I think like that really is kudos to the Knights Hall. And what drew me to it so much when I started coming was just how accepting everybody is. And I train alongside Chuck like just every Monday and Wednesday night that I see him. He's out there putting his strikes in, putting his deeds in.
For sure.
And like it's really great just to show up and really feel like you can come here at any level and be accepted and really feel like you fit in,
Yeah, man, and that's part of the reason that I love the hall so much. Like the current crew that we have is very like close knit. We are very family, but like if you're cool and you want to put in the work and you want to come and hang out, even if you don't want to fight, even if you just want to like come to a striking class or work out or whatever, like we're here for you. Just
Yeah. I mean,
be cool.
They got the weights downstairs. No, you don't need a soft kit. You don't need any weapons. You don't need any of the armor to really come in and practice. And like I myself have seen just more enthusiasm to getting those workouts in, getting the fitness in. Even though I've never been able to put on a full kit yet. Yet. Thank you. I appreciate that. We get to really start to see like that enthusiasm, you know, to come
Yeah,
in
man.
and work out. And even if at the end of the day, the best thing I get out of this is fitness and some friends, that's great. You know, for anybody who's not sure if they ever want to put on the full suit of armor. So,
Yeah, man.
um,
All right, so we have our second to last fight coming up. We have Dustin Gunnarsson versus Brandon Ross. They're going to be fighting longsword, which is going to be great. I'm very excited
Yep.
for many
longsword on
reasons.
longsword here.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. So Dustin's coming in at 6'2", 230. He's been fighting for about 5 years. Brandon, who is currently the regional commander of New England, coming in at 5'11", 200 pounds, been fighting for 6 years.
So would you say this is kind of like a coast brawl? Because we got Dustin coming from the West Coast, and we got Brandon over here being the, what did you say that he was?
He's been, so Brandon's coming in at 5'11", 200. He's been fighting for 6 years. Part of the reason that I'm really excited for this match in particular, other than my obvious bias, is that Dustin, coming from Seattle, is coming from a very different school of learning. He has gotten an opportunity to fight and learn from folks that train very, very differently than we do. So it's going to be really cool to see how that translates to this fight. So I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, this is going to be a match. I mean, look, we already got the smoke coming. We got Brandon Ross, who just walked in, and right here we
Yes,
have Dustin coming up to the camera. It looked like he was bowing, but he was actually just ducking under.
Yep. We got Dustin over here in the red and gold with the black and red up under his helmet. We're going to have Brandon over here in the black. He has his name embroidered on his tabard, which is helpful.
That's great to hear. So one thing for me that's pretty interesting. So Dustin has been my most recent trainer, other than Marie, when it comes to our night fit classes and our striking classes. So, you know, seeing some of the reasons why he might put the tactics that he enjoys into practice, and really seeing like what that looks like in the battlefield, I guess, you know, you could argue, right?
Oh, for sure. So part of the reason that I think that this is going to be a really interesting fight is that Brandon swings with a lot of power, and Dustin is definitely he's a fast boy. He is a finesse fighter. So I'm really interested in seeing how this is going to translate. Oh, Dustin taking him out.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to stat these gentlemen out here, it'd be a pretty interesting stat block. But these are also some very seasoned fighters. I mean, they're going to be doing things that like I wouldn't even have thought to do in the first place. And I mean, look at just the blocks coming in. I mean, the strikes going out there. I mean, you know, just the fact that they're able to hold each other up here and really go sword to sword. Honestly, I don't know how many strikes have been hit in yet, but it seems like none.
It's hard
Maybe
to
one.
say. They're really giving each other some space. They're really feeling each other out, trying to figure out who's going to go
You saw
where.
some sparks there
They're
too.
really calculating these shots, which is
He went
definitely
for
the
that
way to
kick
do
there.
it.
Wow. Oh, there was a strike there and a good block
Solid,
just to get
solid,
it right
solid.
in there. Just have some sparks there. I'm pretty sure right on the camera. 10 seconds left on this first round here. Wow.
Ooh, Brandon
that
coming
was a
in low.
hit.
That was
Oh my
a solid
gosh.
shot.
Solid shot. He just walked
Woo!
Woo!
Brandon getting the last
That
shot
was
in
a
there.
really good shot right there at the end.
That was
Coming
great.
in for the kick, almost like a feint, and then straight with the longsword across the breastplate, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to watch over here to see what's going on. And
Let's see who takes the first round.
this is great to see.
Yeah, man. They're both really giving each other some space, really feeling each other out there. It's hard to tell who took that round. First round's a tie, my guys.
Wow,
All right.
I mean, again, like seeing those fighters go toe to toe, it's hard to really tell exactly what's going on. But there's so many strikes going out, so many blocks going out. I mean, they seem like they're going right toe to toe there.
Oh, for sure,
Absolutely.
not a doubt.
Yeah,
haven't seen Brandon leave the ground yet, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
There's a really killer photo series that came from Strike Exposure Photography of just Brandon in the air, and then Brandon in the air, and then Brandon in the air again during his longsword fights, and it's phenomenal.
We got them dancing onto the battlefield right now. Looks like they're very ready to go.
All right, round
Can't
two,
wait to
here
see
we
this
go.
round two here.
Dustin coming
They're
out
going
aggressive.
right at it.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Look at this. I mean, look at that footwork too. I mean, the fact that they can swing those swords and move around that quickly, as well as not going down from the amount of punishment they're both taking, both their hands and body.
For sure, both these guys have quite a
Just
few
look at
years in
that.
armor. They've gotten used to how they have to move. They've had some significant time training.
You know, I'm telling you that if I ever wanted to pay somebody to protect me, it'd be one of these two gentlemen here.
For sure,
That's what
my
I
guy.
would say.
Dustin getting in there with a fake, sniping a shot.
But yeah, I mean, as you had said in the opener, I mean, Dustin's very quick, so a fake probably doesn't even put him a step behind. You know, if you can take advantage of that fake. Look at that.
Yeah, Brandon's got to be careful of those.
Ooh.
Woo!
Oh,
Never
look at
mind.
that
I
foot.
lied. Check that duck,
That
dude.
foot flying back. That was a great.
We got 10 seconds. Now's the time to push. Let's see what
See
what
what they
happens.
Oh, the kick and the strike.
Brandon getting in a couple of shots there.
And that's the timer.
Dustin getting in the final two.
That was a really good
Well
one.
done. Tell Brandon to swing more. I would if I could, my guy.
Remember, we have no favorites on the stage here.
Yes, no favorites. Not a single favorite.
Second round goes to Dustin. That second
Second
round.
round goes to Dustin. Well
Wow,
done.
that's
Well
great to
fought.
hear.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Yes, absolutely, Heather. If you guys want to check out some really killer photography, please check out Strike Exposure Combat Photography on Facebook. I believe they are also on Instagram, but you're going to find a more extensive library on Facebook. Just Facebook's easier to manage.
And Julie, I could definitely understand that. I currently have not put on a kit yet, and believe me, I would not want to fight against one of these two gentlemen here in a brawl anytime soon. Although I would like to lose to them at some point because I would like that opportunity to see what that movement looks like up close when you're the subject of those weapons.
I will
Be
tell
great to
you,
see.
I have never feared for my guts more than when I was put up in a corner with Chuck Vallis holding me
jeez.
and Brandon holding an axe going, "Do you want it?" And I said, "No."
No, I do
Like,
not.
no,
want
I'm
it.
good, my guy. Thank you.
I would like my arms
Woo!
forever, please. I mean, these weapons out here, you know, again, I've never been hit by any of these weapons before, but seeing they're blunted, it does not look like they feel blunted, believe me.
It does not, my guy. You put enough power behind anything, it does not feel like it's blunted. Got Dustin with that high guard there.
Ooh,
Brandon coming
back
in
around,
low.
trying to go for that duck at the same time, and there was good swing in there.
These are some solid blow for blows.
Wow.
I was alone with Brandon and Greg, and I was pretty much toast. Yeah, that's a terrible situation to be in. I'm very sorry.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a bad time.
I can't tell if they're changing up their tactics, if they're trying her out. I'm assuming it's a little bit of both. Dustin seems to have gotten a good swing, giving Brandon that opportunity for a break, which is really respectful of him.
Yeah, it
Oh,
looks
that
like,
good strike
whoa,
to
what
strike.
was
Oh,
that?
wow.
That was wild. Yeah, it looks like, all right, we got to stop fight. So it looks like Dustin got a solid hit on Brandon's hand because there was definitely an audible ow and a shake of the fingies.
And we do have a close on that hand. It doesn't look damaged at all, but he is feeling
Oh,
it.
it doesn't
You can
look
definitely tell.
damaged, but you can see that he took a solid hand shot. That's an uncomfortable thing on a good day, dude.
And
Now we got-
they're bringing it in.
And Dustin takes it.
Dustin takes it in 3 with that
Well
first round
fought,
being
gentlemen.
a tie.
That was a great fight.
That was
You could definitely see where Brandon was compensating for Dustin's high guard. Every time Dustin would come in high, he would hold his sword high. You could see, oh my God, I just brain farted his name, Brandon. You could see Brandon come in for that low shot. And that is really the downside to that high guard is you are open from the hips down.
Do you think that Dustin was leveraging that he generally has more speed and can stay fit a little bit longer with those high guards, knowing that he might be able to bring that guard back in after the strike goes out?
For sure. And like there's also something to be said for that high guard. That's not necessarily something we teach here, so that's a little unfamiliar, and I don't want to speak too much on that because I am so unfamiliar with it.
That West Coast versus East Coast, you know.
For sure.
Unfortunately, Seattle has won. Unfortunately,
He's
in this
not
moment.
Seattle anymore. He's
True.
it's ours. It
Oh,
lives
okay,
here.
We've taken it. Sorry to all you West Coasters out there.
Yeah,
These hours
suck it,
now.
nerds.
But continue.
I
I
mean,
wanted to hear more about if we had from like when he went for that long strike coming down, and we saw Brandon really like go for that duck and almost like baseball swing like to the leg. I mean, did you think? I wasn't sure. Did we see if Dustin connected?
There were a couple of times where Dustin connected. And there's something to be said. Like when I train some of my students, there's something to be said for when they come down and they come into that squat, they go to change levels and they sort of stick there a little too long. That's where you get that over the head advantage. So when you change levels like that, you really don't want to stay down there too long because you risk getting tapped on the back of your head.
And I will say, Brandon did not stay down there very long. I mean,
He did not. No, he was quick
down
about
there
his
and back
recovery.
up within a second or two.
And that is
So-
where the speed comes in, where Brandon was very smart and he ducked down and he got back up and he was
Yep.
fast about it. But Dustin was just that much quicker than him that he was able to pop off a couple of shots in the meantime. As Maurice, I will not stop stealing your fighters. I will steal every single one that I can. Fight me about it.
Sorry. We will introduce the final fight next in a few minutes.
Yes.
But,
So we got about a 5-minute break, and then we're gonna have the last fight of the night.
Absolutely, we'll keep it hush hush until the last minute. It'll be kind of fun out there. We already told you at the top, so if you remember, you already know. But it was kind of interesting. So this week, Jay was doing we were doing some pel work, and he was kind of showing me dropping levels and like that stance, and really seeing these fighters having those close stances, so you don't get toppled over,
For
so
sure.
you can move around very quickly, but not waste too much energy. You know, really getting to see that in person gives you more understanding of like why you're training the way you're training, like what I'm gaining out of each individual moment that's being taught, by Marie, by Dustin, by Jay, and by others, and by Greg as well, who we haven't seen yet. Spoiler, I guess,
Yeah.
because he was one of my trainers as well earlier
course,
on
of course.
in the in my career to this. So it's really cool to see those different tactics and like what you're actually training for, and what you're gaining out of each micro movement or micro adjustment. Like, because we're using sometimes like wooden dowels, like a long cylindrical
For sure.
weapon for practice, and like there's no blade on that. But when you're going for a swing, you really want to be hitting with that blade and like really getting an idea of where your knuckles are, and
Yeah.
like where your feet are, your stance, and everything like that. It's just so cool to see everything used with so much finesse and practice, and also getting to see different levels. Like we saw a couple fighters earlier who've been around for about a year. We saw a couple of fighters focusing on duels, a couple of fighters who probably would do more melee, and we saw some fighters who've been here for about 6 years.
Mhm.
So really getting to see that like difference as an uneducated, inexperienced fighter, you get to see a lot of things that really motivate and give me like that knowledge, like why I'm looking at specific moments and why I'm like watching someone get tired after like 10 seconds of fighting
Yeah.
and being like, man, I'm tired after like 10 minutes of training, and like I don't know how that translates. So it's really cool to see.
There was a really cool idea behind training that I actually learned on a trip. I went to go hang out with the Warlords and the Mythics in Texas.
Traveling.
Yeah, dude, and like it was great learning from them. But there was something that I learned from them that I hope I'm not spilling the beans too much.
On camera,
But
we got viewers.
I'm sorry, but I thought it was really cool and I want to share because it's something that I've applied to my training with my classes. In that, if you can train for say a minute 30 out of kit, then you might be able to fight for a minute straight. So you apply that back and forth, and I thought that's a really cool way to look at things.
So it sounds like we're getting our last fight coming in about 30
Ooh,
seconds.
snap, son.
So who do we got here up next for
All
our
right.
final fight
Well,
of the night?
Our final fight of the night, we have Kat Brooks and Greg Fisher. They're going to be fighting Sword and Shield, an actual Sword and Shield fight, not Sword and Buckler as we thought was earlier. So Kat's coming in at 6'1", 265. He's been fighting for about 8 years, strictly steel fighting, 17 years if you count like stick fighting. And Greg is coming in at 5'10", 200. He's been fighting for about 3.5 years. Before we started streaming, I wanted to ask some of our fighters what their favorite melee weapons were. I asked Greg, and he simply said cross-check, and you know what? That's valid.
Absolutely. So
All right.
this is actually a pretty exciting fight for me as well to watch, because Greg was my first trainer.
No doubt.
Greg and Marie actually were right there beginning, and getting to see one of the more veteran fighters on the stage right here as a Kat, which I believe is he the second most veteran to Jay himself at the Hall.
Yes, Kat is the second most veteran to Jay. Coming in afterwards, I believe, on this particular list would be Brandon.
Jay just likes to talk about how Kat was at his first fight at 5 days old, I believe, or was it
Yes.
7?
Something like that.
So,
That man tells so many stories that I just like. It's cool, man.
It's true. We get Kat stories we can't repeat on stream.
Oh, no doubt.
I hope he'll be happy that we at least aren't repeating his stories on stream. But so this is going to be a phenomenal fight. Especially, one thing to think about here too is that Greg, being a track and field person, as a track and field instructor, no doubt, he's a very fast guy. He's got a lot of
man.
fitness behind him. He can more than likely move around much faster than Kat. Just But Cat's got a lot of strength behind a lot of
Yeah.
those swings, and you have
Cat's-
to really see what's going on.
Yeah,
with these
Cat's
fights.
got a lot of strength. Cat's got a lot of muscle. Cat's got a lot of movement. But Greg also has a lot of cardio. Greg also has a lot of movement. So it's
True.
going to be really interesting to see how this pans out. A thing worth mentioning is that Cat was for a while the U.S. Sword and Shield champion. So he is not new to this by any means. He is well aware of what he's doing.
These guys have also probably fought each other before, so we are seeing some scenario here of fighters using their experience between each other and their individual experience. There's a lot of strikes going in here.
Oh, no doubt.
This is really exciting.
This is some solid back and forth from both of them.
Greg going right at that shield. Cat feels very comfortable against the wall here. It doesn't seem at all that he's getting back into a corner. He's really going for those blocks,
Yeah.
holding that sword down and going for those strikes. But
Racking
Greg
up
is
the points on the shin
non-relenting.
shots. No doubt.
Unrelenting. Oh, and I do apologize. I don't believe we said who was who. So Cat is
Yes.
with the demon, I believe, on the shield.
So,
The meteorite on the shield is Greg.
yep. So Cat's in the far corner with the black and white. There it is. Cat is in the corner with the demon shield and the black and white around his helmet.
And Greg is walking towards us on camera right now. Well,
Yes.
it just walked off. And as seen here, you know, while our judges are officiating, Cat in the corner there, looking just as comfortable in the corner as he was during the fight itself.
Oh, no doubt.
Pretty good. You think so? Yeah. I can probably agree there. But again, the untrained eye, I mean, I just see two really great fighters.
And
Cat
Cat
takes
does,
round one,
does
yes.
in fact take round one.
You know, again, like from the untrained eye, I see a lot of strikes going into both fighters. It's really hard to see, like for me at least, how many points are going out for each individual strike. But just seeing these two going blow for blow, strike for strike, I mean, it's just a great match all in all.
Yeah, they're both fast. They're both experienced with Sword and Shield. So that was a really solid match. Cat did take the first round. We got 10 seconds to the next round.
This is exciting. So again, this is best of 5, I believe, right?
Yes. So best of
Okay.
5.
So I'm voting for Greg here because I want to see all 5 rounds.
Oh God, I want it.
All right, so Cat's coming out of the corner there, but taking a step back, kind of knowing how much space he has, it seems.
Yeah,
Taking a
Cat-
spin.
Cat
Greg's
is
going-
seeming very, very comfortable on the roll there.
Absolutely. And he's just
Woo!
striking and
Solid
blocking the
couple of
whole
shots
time.
down
Oh, there
the
we go. Good
legs.
strike in there. from
Nice,
Greg as
nice.
well.
Cat swinging low, racking up
You can see-
points.
it's nice to see another angle here on these fighters too as they come to the other side. Oh, look at that
Nice
swing with it.
mulligan from Greg.
Nice to see that motion from that sword there.
Over the top from Cat though on that one.
Phenomenal fight
Solid
here.
block. Taking a second, reassessing.
What a great block. Oh, strikes going in.
Woo!
Strikes going in. Strikes going in. We got our squires running for their lives right now. Great shot.
This is some solid
You can
movement from
see-
Cat.
As you can see here, I mean, block for strike, they're going. They're just continuously going. I mean, you can see them slowing down a little bit, but I don't see them tiring enough where they need to stop fighting. I mean, they're still
No.
going blow for blow, strike for strike.
Definitely not. You could definitely see a couple of moments there where they were really trying to take a second to feel each other out, figuring out where the next shot was going to come.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, thank you for the feedback there, Land Pearson. Just so we can work on making this in. Perfect.
All right, round 2 goes to Cat. Yeah, this is the first fight that we've been able to stream in a long time. So it wouldn't be a nice all fight without technical difficulties, like I've been saying all night. So this is really a good opportunity for us to feel out like how
Yeah.
things are going to be streaming in the future. So yes, thank you, Land.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry about that, but you know, we hope to learn because again, this is the first time we've seen this in-person fights on stream since what, August was it?
yeah. Since August was the last time we had the opportunity to stream a fight from here. So this is not only fighters, knocking some rust off and getting a feel for their fighting senses again. This is also us trying to figure out how we want to stream better in the future. But that doesn't matter because we're on to round 3.
This could be the final round of the night.
This could be
Cat
it.
is up 2-0 in a match of 5.
Yeah, Greg's really going to have to pick it up if he wants any chance of winning this.
I will tell you though, Greg
Ooh, but
does
Cat
not
is
look
giving
tired,
him-
but he is getting blasted right
Cat
now.
is giving him no room for that.
again, it's difficult to not be able to leverage those walls and leverage those corners like you might be able to against other fighters because Cat seems so comfortable in those corners
And
there.
Cat using his size as Cat
He's
using his
pushing him right
size,
back. He
bullying him
pushes
back
the
in the
entire
corner.
wall. Just going for those swings right while Greg is not able to use his weapon at all, it seems.
Cat
But he
maybe
was able
looking
to
a
break
little
away.
tired.
I mean, just look at those swings. He's even able to just make those swings.
Oh,
Push
no
it.
doubt.
He pushed in on his own there. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Cat's
Cat.
putting those strikes while Greg is up against the wall. Greg's trying to break away, but Cat is not letting him.
He's giving. Oh, he is tiring him out.
Yeah, but Greg is
Greg
still
racking
pushing
up a
as hard
couple
as he
of points,
can. I
swinging
mean,
on
he's
his
pushing
shin.
off. He's still going.
Oh,
He's
and
still
that is
going
time.
the whole
That
time.
is time. Greg did not relent for a second.
That
Well
was
fought,
great.
guys.
That was a phenomenal fight. Woo, woo, woo! I know, watching from the untrained eye, I could tell that Cat was in control of that, but Greg put so much heart and soul into that fight there. I mean, you saw he was fighting the whole way through. He was unrelenting and really pushing even into melee with Cat, knowing he was down in points.
And Cat takes it. Well fought, gentlemen.
Some playful headbutting there. Something we haven't seen very much in COVID is playful headbutting. I hope that at home in your COVID pods you can have some playful headbutting.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, so we have Jay who informed us that was the last fight of the night. I don't know if you
Yes.
can hear him. I do apologize.
Hello.
But they're bringing it back to us.
No doubt. No, dude, those were some solid fights tonight. I'm so happy that we had the opportunity to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know I was commentating coming in, and honestly, getting to see it from here was pretty wonderful. Really getting to be up close. We have this nice shield here to protect our lives from brutal danger. Because as you can see, we're not armored, but you know, just getting to see like how these fighters, how much effort they put into their ability to fight each other just for the fun of it, right? I mean,
Yeah, man.
nobody's winning anything out here, nobody's gaining anything out here. It's just a
Yeah, man.
all day.
This wasn't for glory. This wasn't for titles. This was just for fun. We haven't had a chance to really fight each other. We haven't had a chance to have a fight at the Hall in so
Yes.
long, you know. And this was really just for us, and it was really great.
Yeah,
It was,
so
it was really great to see everybody come through the way that they did, and everybody put their heart and soul into these fights the way that they always do.
Absolutely, and I mean, you know, I can't wait till I can put aside some money for a full armor kit to be able to really get out there myself, because like it does take time, but I'm also like not ready. You know, I mean, I want to be out there and I want to get beat up and I want to be thrown on the ground, but like if I had an armor kit right now, I don't know. Like I'm still trying to make sure I'm getting in like those practicing and everything like that. But getting to see everything, it just makes you so motivated to be out there.
Yeah,
like,
no doubt.
cool.
I
You know,
just,
when are you gonna get to fight? Come on, I want to see
oh
that too.
God, I
It's
want
gonna
it
be
so
great.
bad. You have no idea how bad I want it.
Someone come out here and fight Marie, okay?
Somebody fight me
come
pole
out
arm.
here.
Somebody
Polearm.
fight me pole arm.
Yep.
Preferably a femme or female individual. That would be killer.
Absolutely.
I'll fight literally anybody sword and buckler. I want it bad.
Yeah, let's get a fighter out here for Marie so that we can see her
It'll happen
brawling
someday.
out there in a match. So honestly, I mean, there were so many highlights. I wish we could go through it all. Just because of how cool so many of these fights are. I mean, we saw sparks fly. We saw a hurt hand.
Yeah,
we
dude.
saw people going toe to toe. We saw sword and shield. We saw a double overhand swing. I mean,
You stole
so
my
many
heart.
great things. I mean, this is a video I'm probably going
There-
to come back and watch just to like get an idea of everything that was going on in these
No
fights
doubt,
from
dude.
those cameras. So
Yeah, dude.
great stuff. Do you think
well,
these
we're
fighters are probably going to watch the video to like get an idea of how they look and like how they fight, and maybe tactics and tips for themselves?
From a coach's perspective, I would say that I hope that they do. I hope that they take the opportunity to take their wins or losses as an educational moment. From a fighter perspective, I don't fucking watch my own tape, dude. Like I don't want to. I don't want to do that. I know, dude. Like I think about watching my own tape and my hands start shaking, and I'm just like, oh, I gotta go.
Yeah. But I mean, do you feel like a lot of our fighters, you know, they might see like, oh, I could have stepped different this way, or I could have stepped different that way, or maybe I was just too tired to think those swings and like really what it looks like. Because I'll be honest, like looking at people in full armor, they look so much different than they do like without armor. And
Oh yeah, for
just
sure.
seeing how those movements look.
There's just so much more to a person physically when they put on their kit, and it really inhibits your ability to move or to flow as you would in a soft kit or a no kit or whatever. And so like watching the tape would definitely be worthwhile for some of these fighters, win or lost, just as an educational moment to, oh, I did really well here, but here's how I can improve, whatever the
Yeah.
case may be. Like watching tape is a solid idea, and I really hope that these fighters take the opportunity to.
Hey, the VODs are there
But-
forever, right?
right?
Once it's on the internet, it's always on the internet. But,
All right.
yeah, but so just a couple of like a thank yous and a couple other closing remarks. Because we'll start closing down the stream. But to a lot of our squires and helping hands, I mean, you might have seen about 12 fighters out there and a couple of squires, cameramen, people like that. But really, like this takes a village, right? I mean,
it
you would
really
say-
does, dude. And we had so many people come through that were squiring for the very first time, that were supporting for the very first time. So huge shout out to them for just coming out here and being willing to put in the effort to take up the opportunity to practice and to learn what it's like to help run an event. Because without our support staff, we're kind of screwed, man. Like support is just as important as the fighters. So really, thank you to everybody that came to support in whichever way you came to do it. You came to count, you came to learn, you came to squire. You guys mean the world to us, and we're in trouble without you. We need you.
We have a silly human over here trying to dance. He's not even on camera.
So thank you to our support staff. Thank you to
To the hall.
gosh.
I mean, to
Yeah,
the hall
thank
as a
you to the
whole.
hall.
Like,
thank you
just
to
for hosting and really.
sure.
I mean, I know everybody here was a hall member for the most part. I believe.
yeah, for the most part.
But yet, still to make sure that this type of event is going on safely. I mean, like as somebody who has been very worried about COVID since March of 2020,
no doubt.
this is the Knights Hall has really been the first place where I have felt simultaneously safe and like welcomed, and also that everybody who I am engaging with has been taking the extra most precautions with COVID and really just feeling. I mean, I know that it is still difficult because sometimes you are inside, but we have the windows open. We're doing temperature checks. We're making sure that
For sure,
people
man.
are if they feel sick at all, they're not coming in, and people have been compliant about that. I mean,
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
can't count how many posts of people who are saying like, "Hey, I'm not going to be at practice until I get a COVID test because I'm still feeling a little under the
Yeah, no
weather."
doubt. Like as a
So-
school, we've been doing everything that we can to make sure that the facility is clean, equipment's clean, everything's sanitized appropriately.
Every day,
Every
You put in
single
so much
day.
work.
Like
So-
we try to make sure that the school itself is taken care of, but that is also supported by our students coming in and being honest like that and saying, I'm not feeling well, I'm not going to risk it, I don't want to come in, and just really, really helping us out. Every small thing that our students, that our fighters do to help support us as a school and as instructors is just as important as anything else. So we have a really solid community here that's been very, very good about being very COVID cautious, and we did everything that we could to make sure that this event in particular was also very cautious. Like we said
Absolutely.
earlier, we have our fighters armoring in not the space that they usually do because it is so small and
It's
because
pretty
we
cold
wouldn't
down
be.
there.
It's pretty friggin' cold down there, dude. But they have their armoring down in a space where they can be safely distanced from each
Yeah.
other. Make sure that we're being as cool and as safe as possible.
And other and also Jay was doing like online courses and is still doing so
For sure.
for anybody that doesn't feel like they can come in to something like this. And really, you don't need much. I mean, you might you can't get access to the tools and I guess weapons would be the right word
Right, yeah.
that you would use, the training equipment that we have here, but
Mhm.
you can get access to that expert training from Jay, and it seems like people have been enjoying it a lot.
For sure.
And getting a lot out of it. So it's really nice to see what the hall has been doing just to make sure that people can still get in their deeds, still get in their fitness, still get in their training, still get in their fighting
No doubt.
during COVID, while putting that COVID compliance and COVID safe before all of that, which is what unfortunately we have to do in the world right now.
Yeah.
And as somebody who is new to the hall, it's so great to see that just day in, day out. But
Absolutely. But I do believe that is the end of
Yeah.
our stream. We have had our final fight. And just as a quick review for our winners, we had Sword and Buckler Brian Chabot. We had Longsword Caitlin Nichols, Longsword William Alloway, Triathlon Chuck Goodwin, Longsword Dustin Gunnarsson, and Sword and Shield Kat Brooks.
it looks like we have some radio
yeah,
coming
we got
in.
a little bit of radio coming in that we're working on fixing, but that's
On the way out anyway.
it's not better.
Listen.
Thank you.
No blooper reel, okay. And of course,
All right, guys.
thank you to everybody who's been helping out
We would
today.
especially like to thank Steel Tiger Media, who has put in a lot of effort to making sure that this stream went as well as it could. Again, this was our first stream in a while, so we're really working out the hitches on, how best to make the stream flow. So thank you everybody for putting up with our technical difficulties. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for everybody who has donated.
And if you do have, if you do want to get involved, or you do have you want to make some conversation, I know that the website's available, which I believe we have. I believe it's linked in the.
I
in
do
the Twitch.
believe
I don't know off the top of my head, which is kind of bad of me to bring it up, but whatever.
There's
the
Knights
like that. Yep.
there's the Knights Hall website, which needs a bit of an update, but we're working on that. You can also hit up the Knights Hall on Facebook.
Yep.
And there's man.
And if you want to get involved in something like this, reach out to anybody who's doing it, even if you only want to try to get involved from home. So
Absolutely.
we hope to see you fighting in armor and having sparks fly and getting all those awesome strikes in.
Absolutely, dudes. Thank you
thank
so
you.
much for joining us. We hope you had as good a time as we did, and we will see you next time.